We are back with a brand new tactical clinic video. Today we are looking at Odin White Hair Gaming's 4-2-3-1 that he's used and has absolutely battered the Build a Nation save so far with Hajduk split over in Croatia. So I'm going to show you the tactic. We're obviously going to run this with Manchester City, Ipswich, AFC Wimbledon. All links to Odin's socials and his YouTube channel, etc. will be down in the description below. So go give him a follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. And here we are at Manchester City. It does look like a bit of grim reading, but there are a couple of good points to highlight here. So first up, we can see we've won the AFC Community Shield, absolutely battering our City rivals Manchester United 4-0. 2 goals from Kevin De Bruyne, a goal from Rodri and a goal from the machine Erling Haaland. Put us on our way to a great start to the season, 4-0 victory in the Community Shield. Unfortunately, as you can see, the Carabao Cup, we lost it in the 4th round to Man United, semi-finals of the FA Cup to Tottenham Hotspur. In the Champions League group, we'll take an actual closer look at this. We finished 3rd. We were in a tough group with Milan, Bayern and Girona. We won 2 games beating Bayern Munich and Girona. We drew 2, Girona and Milan, and we lost to Milan and Bayern. 1 goal in it in each of those, so that's a bit unfortunate, but that did mean we went on to the Europa League. And if we take a look in the knockout playoff round, we managed to beat Red Bull Salzburg 4-3 in aggregate before going on to the round of 16 and absolutely battering Roma 8-4. That led us to the quarter-finals, in which we managed to beat PSV Eindhoven on penalties after a 3-all aggregate draw. And in the semi-finals, we beat RB Leipzig 8-3. We absolutely battered them, 5 goals to the good there. And in the final, as we can see, we beat Manchester United 2-1. And it was goals from Jeremy Doku and Ruben Diaz, 2 players that you maybe wouldn't expect us to score for us, and even more so for them. Mason Mount scoring that goal. I don't know the last time I saw that happen. But the Europa League final in Dublin has ended 2-1 to Manchester City. We have beaten our City rivals in 2 competitions so far this season, and that's kind of how it ended. We finished the league in 2nd place. If we take a look, we finished on 81 points, 25 wins, 6 draws, 7 losses. Take a look at some of the key information here. We can see goals scored, 110 goals this season. So this tactic scores goals. And fewest conceded, we also conceded the least. So we scored the most, conceded the least, but unfortunately we finished 6 points behind Spurs. Make that make sense. Unfortunately, it just didn't fall into place at the right time for us. But again, 2nd place finish. It's okay, better than they've done in real life this year, so you know, they've got that. In terms of base players, we can see Erling Haaland, 43 goals, 3 assists. The guy absolutely battered opposition here. 24 starts in the league, getting 34 goals is amazing. But you can see Champions League, he only played twice in the Champions League and twice in the Europa League, so he has definitely had some injury issues this season. Only started 33 games, but in those 33 games he scored 43 goals. Absolutely amazing. Other standout player was the man, the myth, the legend, Kevin De Bruyne. 17 goals, 30 assists in 37 starts. Absolutely brilliant season for him. And then looking at the data hub, if we take a closer look, we can see we scored 2.89 goals per game from an expected 2. Conceded just a 0.84 from an expected 0.94. So looking at the underlying numbers, this went really well for us. We scored the most goals, we were creating a lot of chances, we conceded the least, but for whatever reason, Spurs were just unplayable. I mean, we finished 6 points behind, but we scored the most, conceded the least, and we had a 26 goal difference swing to them. We finished our goal difference 78, and we could not do the business. Next up, we're going to look at Ipswich, and the eagle-eyed of you will see the Tractor Boys are going to be playing Champions League football. And we're on Ipswich now, and as you can see, the cup, quickly go over them. Carabao Cup, 2nd round exit to Fulham. FA Cup, 5th round exit to Tottenham. But it is the Premier League. 22 wins, 8 draws, 8 losses, a goal difference of 30 to finish on 74 points, means that we are playing Champions League football next season. If I was to take this on, but we don't really do that with these sorts of videos. But anyway, 13 points behind eventual winners Tottenham, so an absolutely outstanding season for them. If we look at the data hub for Ipswich, we'll see 1.79 goals per game, only conceding 1 per game, so we are scoring more goals than we're expected to, and we're conceding less than we're expected to. So overall, this tactic has done the business for Ipswich as well. Looking at the best players, Jack Clark, the winger, 24-year-old, he has 14 goals, 5 assists. Good season for the 24-year-old Englishman. George Hurst, the striker, 14 goals and 1 assist for him. He's actually been called up to the Scottish national team as far as I'm aware. Let me just double check, he does have Scottish nationality. He doesn't in here, but he 100% has been called up for the Scottish national team. I am not lying about that, I don't think.
A few moments later.
Yes, he does. He has a Scottish granddad.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you.
We don't care.
Anyway, 13 starts, 26 appearances off the bench, but he managed to bag 14 goals. Great season for him. Just unhappy in this, but again, we're not taking this on, so that's not a real big issue for us. But Champions League football for the Tractor Boys, what more could you want? Last up, We'll see how this tactic does in the lower leagues, and again, we're going to check out with AFC Wimbledon. So again, a lot of cup exits. Knocked out in the third round of the Bristol Street Motors Trophy to Charlton, lost out in the first round of the Carabao Cup to Oxford United, lost out to Bristol City in the Emirates FA Cup third round. But what matters is we have won League 2. If we take a look at the final league table, we won 29, drew 9, lost 8, finished with a goal difference of 46, to finish on 96 points, nearly Centurions, just missing out there. But overall, if we take a look again, team overview, Tibbs goals, scored 103 goals, so again, this tactic scores you the business. Views conceded 57, the fourth best defence in the league, but you know, 57 goals over 46 for a lower league team isn't too bad. In terms of player stats, if we take a look, most goals, Josh Kelly with 21 goals, James Tilley with the 16. If we actually look at Josh Kelly in depth, he can see here, he actually played striker and the attacking mid, both probably equally. 16 goals from the striking position, 8 from the attacking midfield, 2 assists from the striking role and 3 from the attacking midfield. So he played up front on his own and he also played just behind the striker. So versatile Northern Irishman there. He has done the business for us this year. And if we take a look as well, James Tilley is another man I want to highlight. 53 games for him, 19 goals, 13 assists from the right wing. 26-year-old Englishman. Really good first season at Wimbledon by the looks of it. Absolutely brilliant. And did we have anyone who's conceded? No. I'm quite surprised there, but a lot of these people will be players that played a few less games. But there we go. And looking at the team again, we've looked at Kelly, we've looked at Tilley, Josh Neufeld, 16 goals, 12 assists from another winger. Joe Piggott, the other striker, 10 goals, 4 assists from 24 starts, very good for him. And in terms of the data hub, move that out the way, we can see 2.24 goals per game from an expected 1.77. We're expected to concede 1.06 per game. We've conceded slightly more this time at 1.24, but we've won the league, that's no danger there. And again, another trophy in the bag for this tactic, and we've won the league. We'll head back to Manchester City and I'll show you exactly how this tactic lines up. Go through the player roles, go through the player instructions, go through the team instructions, we'll go through everything that you need to know if you're wanting to use this tactic. So as we can see, this is Odin's tactic here. I've just called it the Odin tactic test just because there was no real name on it when I got it, so I've just named it after the creator. Makes sense. So it's a 4-2-3-1 and we will go through the team instructions first. So we're on a positive mentality. In possession, we are playing fairly wide, we're passing the ball into space, playing it out of defence. Passing directness is shorter, and we're playing it at a slightly higher tempo, and we are playing for set pieces. In the transition, we are counter-pressing, we are countering, we're distributing it right across the back line to both full-backs and the centre-back, and we are taking short kicks. And out of possession, we're playing with a high press, the standard defensive line, we are triggering the press much more often, we are preventing the short goalkeeper distribution, we are getting stuck in, and we are stepping up more. Now going through the player roles, we have a sweeper keeper on support, just set to standard instructions. Wing back on support on the right hand side, just standard instructions again. 2 ball playing defenders, both set to defend, both just our standard instructions here. Wing back on support on the left, again just set to standard instructions. The double pivot here, we've got the ball in midfielder on defend in the defensive midfield slot, and the deep line playmaker on support on the left hand side with tackle harder as an additional instruction. If you're not sure how to add these, when on a player, if you just click edit, you can muck around here. Some of the things you can't select based on their player role, however, you can change that. And moving into the final third, on the right hand side we have an inside forward on attack, roam from position and stay wider as his additional instructions. The attacking midfielder on attack in the centre, shoot more often, roam from position and move into channels. And the winger on the left hand side on attack with run wide with the ball and roam from position. And up front we have an advanced forward on attack, just set to standard instructions, which you can see is move into channels. So if you look across the 3 in behind, you can see they all have roam from position on, and the attack midfielder as well has move into channels. So from the looks of it, the front 4 are basically going to cause havoc, all roaming from position, just causing all sorts of issues for the defence, especially with all 4 players on attack. I imagine that you will consistently score a lot of goals, create a lot of issues in the opposition box. But there we have it, that is the latest tactic I have showcased here. It is Odin White Hair Gaming's tactic. Again, link down below to his YouTube channel, so make sure you go watch his videos, subscribe, give him a like, all that good stuff, and as always, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time.